Atlanta's #1 radio stations, Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations, has you covered. From our studios to our newsroom at K.L.P Entertainment. Listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audacity, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
Turn up your radio.
Right now.
Guess who? Nobody got nothing on us.
You're locked in to the greatest station.
Right here, so keep it locked.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Live from our newsrooms brings back our hit news network, SNN, with many news anchors like Arthur Brooks, Addison Hayden, and Beatrix Gemma. Brings you stories about the news worldwide. Tune in on Atlanta's #1 stations, Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 radio stations. To get the latest news today, listen on all major audio platforms like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audacity, Apple Podcast, Stitcher Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube, and more.
Right back at you. It's the Kid 50 Cent.
This is your boy Weezy F, baby.
Yo, what it does, this your homie Rick Ross. This is your boy Gucci Man LaFleur.
You're in the mix with.
Right here, so keep it locked.
You heard me?
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Swanky 93.3 and The Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studio. Morning with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, come on, just how we roll. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how we roll. What it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the podcast. We're gonna jam out for a minute. Little R&B vibe, you know. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Hey. The vibe. You know what I like. Hey. Come on, Sierra.
It's on tonight.
Come on.
I'm talking
tonight. Welcome. How we roll. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. We're going to get started in a minute. Shout out to the listeners out there, wherever you're listening to the podcast from. Come on, Breezy. Hey. Come on. Y'all listen to that latest Cursebound album. It's so good. 1111. So good. Shout out to all the podcasters out there. Hey. You gotta love Breezy a little bit. We streaming on the Heat 94.6 tonight. Welcome. Shout out to all the podcasters. Shout out to all the people here in Atlanta. Shout out to my Atlanta people. You guys are the GOAT. Hey. Come on. What it is. How we roll. This is how we do it, y'all. We do it real good on podcasts. What it is. How we roll. We know what it is. That. Come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the podcast. This is the K.L.P Afterparty podcast. I'm your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas. Welcome back to yet another live stream here today, y'all. We have our Instagram going, and we're doing it a little bit different this day, tonight. Rather us streaming on my personal Instagram, we decided to stream on the Heat 94.6 radio station's Instagram as we get a viewer here. As Shakur_13 has joined the chat. For all of the people that follows the Heat 94.6, thank y'all. First of all, I got to say, y'all, thank y'all for staying tuned for, not only just an exciting podcast and another exciting stream. We got the cameras, we got the lighting going, and of course the video version of this podcast is going to be coming out later on tonight as well. So for all the people who follow us on the Heat 94.6 radio station, welcome. We do this stream, and you're able to chime in and you can ask any questions. If you got a song that you want to request here on our show, we'll search it up real quick, we'll play it for you, just for you guys out there for that engagement. So shout out to y'all. So the Heat 94.6 has been, it has been a long going Instagram account of ours. It started with, the Grizzly Talk podcast way back in the day, all the way up to this current name, the Heat 94.6. This account's been been online for a while. It changed a lot of different names. So yeah. We've been through a lot of changes when it comes to this account, but I am glad to call it the Heat 94.6 because with this, we're able to do whatever we want, and we're able to talk about things and talk about them however we want. So I get very, very stoic for that. I get very, very proud of that because, if you guys saw the last couple of streams lately, we've been, investing in our own space here in the studio. And of course, we've got the new Rode podcast mic here and the Rodecaster here on the desk. And, we've got the lighting equipment and everything in here. So, we really stepped up our game since last. So I'm very, very stoic about that. I'm very, very happy about that. So we got another great episode, another great stream for y'all today. I'm super stoked about this one because we've got some things we got to talk about here. Mention the title of this podcast. We'll get to the meat and potatoes of this show. But welcome. Now, you guys can tune in to the show and the radio station, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6, on any platform you get your podcast from. So, if you get it from iHeartRadio, that's a good partner of ours. Thank you for that listening. If you get your podcast from Spotify, or you might even get your podcast from Audible, I don't know where you get your podcast from. Share with you with your friends, letting you know that we have gone live as well. So, very, very excited for this episode. I do have quite a few announcements I'm very, very excited to announce. And I say quite few, but it's just one really. If you guys follow all of our Instagrams, we posted about an hour ago. It has been confirmed that, yes, we are going back to New York. Shout out to New York. Wow. I just want to thank everybody first of all, I want to thank everybody who's been watching my documentaries, by the way. Street Style, A New York Culture, and Street Style Homecoming. That's where, Street Style, A New York Culture is where it got started. And then, of course, Street Style Homecoming was the better one out of the two because I was able to be in front of the camera mostly for the second documentary. And then, of course, we got to show you a little bit more in fashion with part two. So very, very excited for that as well. I am glad to be going back to New York because New York is a place that I just really fell in love with. If you have not been to New York, and I say this to anybody out there that's listening and tuned in right now, and maybe on demand later, if you haven't been to New York, you have to go to New York. New York is one of those places that you just don't want to sleep on. I'm so excited to be going back. This will be my third time going to New York, and I'm really, really excited about this trip simply because we can't announce too much yet because I didn't discuss it with my business partners, if you will, when it comes down to what we're doing in New York. So the one project I can't really talk to you so much about on this live stream, but we are working on a project up there. So it's mainly just work, really. It's a work kind of thing, more than an enjoyable one. But I'm gonna make sure that I get you guys content. You know, we are filming content up there. I'm still on the fence about doing a podcast in New York. We did it last trip, and that was really, really fun. But I just got to see, right? Because if I'm were to do a live podcast live from New York, of course it wouldn't have the lightings. I probably would have to take my roadcaster and my mic and stuff. So I'm thinking about it. I'm on the fence about it because we already have so much other equipment going with us to New York, film equipment that is. So I don't want to lug too much stuff up there. So I'm on the fence about that. I might. I don't know. I just don't know yet. So even if we don't take all the extra toys, bells, and whistles, there's a way that we can compact a podcast set for you guys, and it's minor, and I don't have to lug so much stuff. So I don't know yet. I'm still on the fence about it. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet, but just look forward to it as well. But I get very excited when it comes about New York because, like I mentioned, I fell in love with the city. We've toured just about almost everything that New York has to offer. I know there's a lot of things that we need to see that we didn't get to see the last two trips, right? But I get very, very stoic about this. I get very, very excited for a big trip like this because we are up there for a week filming and doing content and walking and filming content and just taking some photography and filming content. So this is more of a work kind of trip, but shout out to everybody who might be up there in New York right now. I look forward to that as well. Yeah, so we announced it today because we just got confirmed today. And that's one thing I like to do as a media conglomerate, if you will. I like to confirm things first before I share the big news because it might be where you share big news and it may not work out to where you need it to. So I don't know yet. But now that I know and it's been confirmed, yes, next month I will be traveling up there to New York. So excited to be back in that wonderful city. I just look. One of those cities that I just really do dabble on into and I really enjoy it. Now, you guys tune into the podcast because we do have some questions that some fans had put in as well. And what I like to do is I have two of these. Right. I have two of these. And then after the first question, of course, I get to the meat and potatoes based off the title of the live stream. As we get somebody new in there, Clutch 33494 has joined. Shout out to you as well. I do say for the people who do tune in, share it with your friends, letting them know K.L.P Kennedy Lucas, we live right now. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment box. I do read those, by the way. And if you got a music request, we're able to request some music on here as well. So while we're live, get your shout outs in. So the first question, right? And I have two that people put in our forum. And I really do appreciate people who write things in our forum and they give us just questions and advice or questions that they just want to answer out there in the world, right? And it just that's the engagement that I'm looking for. Now, the first question is, what was your first smartphone, and how did you feel when you got it? Now, I am really, and then as somebody says, open with AAA. What's that? Clutch 33494. What is that? Is that a song? It said you said open with AAA. I don't really know what that means unless you're talking about AAA insurance. I'm just kidding. No, let me know what that means, and we'll cue it up for you. As long as if it's a good song too. If it's too nasty, I can't. I got to be careful here. Like I still don't want to. But now my first song here, and that's okay. You engaging with me right now? Okay, let me see real quick. While we here. Because I like to be the engagement. I like to engage with people. Now, is it triple A? Is that the name of the song, or is the song open with AAA? Let me know, because I'm searching it up right now, and I'm not sure what it is. Open. Don't do me. Whoa, these songs I ain't heard of before, but I play it just for you, just for tuning in. Now, the question did become, my first smartphone. I'm sorry, Clutch 3349. I'm on Spotify, by the way. I don't see that song nowhere. Let me know where can I find it. I don't have Apple Music because I pay for Spotify. Or tell me the artist, by the way. Tell me the artist, by the way, because I can't really see it. So my first smartphone, that was the question. Believe it or not, my first so Open is that's the artist name? Okay, I'll look at that. My first smartphone was the Samsung Galaxy. Shout out to Samsung. I want to say it was the S4. I don't really remember, or maybe it was the S3, right? This was way back in the day. And this was the song, this was the phone that I really thought I was cool. I really thought I was the cool person trying to get this phone because it was my first smartphone and I wanted to be different. And believe me, don't know what I was thinking when I said that. I don't think. And Clutch 33494, I still don't. Oh, there it is. I see it. Now, I like the artwork's a little different, so we're going to cue that up in a second. But the Samsung S4 was a phone that I enjoyed the most because I thought I was different. I wanted to be different with this. I wanted to be different when it came down to not wanting an iPhone. And when I got the Samsung phone, it was interesting because it was my first smartphone ever. And I had to say this smartphone was a phone that I received when I was a preteen, I guess, maybe, if it counts in preteen. The preteen days were very interesting because I was still, coming into high school at the time and, we needed a phone. And I had that phone for the longest time, for about a year, until I switched over to iPhone, because with the Samsung S3 or 4, I don't really remember, it was cool for what it was, right? That's when I first got Instagram and I opened my Facebook, and I didn't have Spotify at that time, but it was cool. It was all the games and nips and tricks on it. I had it on my phone, right? But I kept dialing 911. I kept butt dialing 911. Every time I'm in class, you would hear, hello, hello. And then I would look and be like, 911, what's your emergency? I'm butt dialing 911, butt dialing them a whole heck of a lot. It was just one of those things that I had to be careful of because, you can get in trouble. Obviously, you can get in trouble when it comes down to, when you have your phone in your pocket and then you're butt dialing by mistake and you have to say 20 million times, I'm sorry, I butt dialed you guys. I put you guys in my back pocket. And then again, I was a preteen, right? I didn't know how to, carry my phone either in my hand or in my front pockets. So I would always put my phone in my butt pocket, right? So it was one of those things that I did have. That was my first ever smartphone. It was the Samsung Galaxy S3 or S4. It was like a white, and it was sleek too. Like I guess I dabbled on into it because I like how the design was, right? And it was very, very sleek, and I thought it was very, very stylish. And then I got into Samsung later that year, after getting my Samsung. Of course, I got a Samsung tablet to complete it. So I was Team Samsung for a moment. Shout out to Samsung. Right? But now I'm Team Apple. I'm Team Apple all the way when it comes down to it. So that was the question for one of the fan base out there who put that in the forum. That was my first smartphone. And now I got Apple products here in the studio. I got Apple products all around. So shout out to Clutch 3349. She requested a song. So this is shout out to Clutch 33494. Open, don't do me. So I'm not sure what he's saying, but you know. You gonna rap? Okay, sounds like you need to be mixed a little bit more. I like the beat though. I don't know what he's saying, but the beat go hard. I don't know what he's saying, but he make me laugh right now. Hey, this is what they... Shout out to Clutch 33494. You requested this, so this is yours. So it just sounds like... It sounds like this song needs to be cooked a little bit more. Yeah, it sounds like this artist needs a mic. Like a really good mic in a good studio. Because you got to mix it. The beat go hard though, I give you that, but... Alright. Alright. So shout out to you. Ooh, as I hit my own mic. Clutch 33494. That was the request that you had for you as well. The beat go hard, but I ain't know what the hell he was saying. So you know, one of them days where, you know, like artists, you know, maybe making songs may not be your niche, right? But shout out to two official for you. That's another Instagram handler that's been tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you got some music that you want to request here on the show here today, put it in the comment box. We'll find it. We'll play it. We'll shout you out for sure. And by the way, guys, if you're watching this, and tell your friends all around the world that K.L.P Kennedy Lucas is live right now. So I just answered my first question. What was my first smartphone? How did you feel when I got it? Like I say, to answer that, I felt very, very excited because that was my first smartphone. My brother didn't understand it. They didn't understand it because they were Team Apple and I was Team Samsung at the time. We were very, very different. We couldn't even FaceTime, but now we can because we, 20 years later, we've got iPhones. So, Cat freaking Williams. Now, so I know everybody's talking about Cat Williams, and he's the viral sensation of the month of January. He kicked us off in 2024 when it comes down to his viralness. Of course, he went on to Shannon Sharpe's latest. I don't want to say, well, it's a show, but I mean, you can kind of listen to it too, so it's kind of like a podcast. But Club Shay Shay is Shannon Sharpe's latest show, and of course, he had the talented Cat Williams on the show, and everybody's been talking about him simply because. And shout out to Cat Williams and shout out to Shannon Sharpe, by the way. Especially Shannon Sharpe, because he had to take a lot of bullcrap with Skip Bayless and their show called The Undisputed, right? So he left and he formed his own thing, right? So Cat Williams had a lot to say. Cat Williams had a lot to say to a lot of comedians. It's good that Cat Williams had a platform to express himself and how he felt. I saw the interview as much as many other radio personalities and podcasters. We all saw the video. And I got to tell y'all, he came and smoked some of these comedians, right? He did. I got to say, he really came in, and Shannon Sharpe just said, "Hey, how you doing today, Cat? I'm doing good. Now that I'm here on the show, let me cut the shit with you." And that was it. That was the whole conversation, where he, for the entirety of the interview, bashing every comedian that we know in a man, right? So it's just one of those things where I don't think people are upset with Cat Williams, well, except for the comedians, but a lot of us fan base were not upset because he's just saying his piece. right? I feel like there is a moment where, you know, comedians have to understand the role of being an actual comedian and actually performing and coming up with original content, right? I gotta say, and I've watched quite a few of Cat Williams' special, but I also saw a couple of the Cedric the Entertainer comedian specials, right? I've seen a lot of Kevin Hart specials, right? DL Huey. I've seen a lot of comedian specials out there, and I gotta say, there's nothing like Cat Williams. Cat Williams is one of the originals, right? So when you have it to where this great comedians on this platform and they're doing their thing and they're spilling the tea about how they really feel about other comedians in there is some truth to that. Now, I gotta say, I'm not upset to a lot of comedians who went Hollywood because obviously that's the market, right? You got your Steve Harveys and your Cedrics and your Kevin Harts where they started up doing stand-up comedians, but then they move on to become Hollywood. And matter of fact, I think all of them did, right? Your Kevin Harts, your Cedrics, your Cat Williams, your Steve Harveys, right? Who else am I missing? Your Chris Rocks and your Dave Chappelle's, you know, and even your Face on Loves too, because Cat Williams had a lot to say when it came down to Face on Love. Now, I've watched quite a few of the Face on Love comedian specials or videos. Now, he hasn't had that many on Netflix, right? Because that's Cat Williams make that known that, you know, Faison doesn't have no specials on Netflix. Cat Williams has 12, is what he said in the interview, right? So there was a lot of, you know, back and forth between Shannon and Cat Williams. And when it came down to it, and I agree to a lot of podcasters out there who's been saying, you know, when Cat Williams got going, Shannon Sharp should know, hey, these questions that we had preloaded for him, they out the window. They made go. Shannon Sharp made go from this episode, from this special, simply because Cat Williams is spilling the tea, and it's been record show. It's still climbing, by the way, as we're live tonight. You know, Club Shay Shay, that episode, 10 million streams, 10 million, and counting. Right? He's made a lot of money so far based off this one interview. And Club Shay Shay has a lot to do this year. Right? I can only wish, and we'll get there one day, 10 million streams every episode. I would love to be up to that stature, right? We working on it, but we got some things we got to work on. So Shannon Sharp knows that he got gold when it came down to it. They really, really did well. I think there's no Cat Williams is going to say whatever he wants to say, right? You had a lot of celebrities take to Instagram and Twitter and well, not Facebook, but I've seen it on Facebook too. But you've got these other comedians that he's bashing that, hey, they took to social media and they're having a lot to say. They have a lot of response to say when it comes down to it. I honestly do think it was smooth for Ludacris, because Cat Williams talked about Ludacris being in the Illuminati and shaking ass for some bigwig executives from Hollywood. Don't know how accurate that is. Don't know how truthful that is because I wasn't in the room, right? But Ludacris came out to Instagram, bust out a rap, and it's good. And I agree to a lot of people. It's good to hear a Ludacris verse, right? I think Ludacris should come back into rapping. I think he's one of my favorites. But there's a time and a place for that kind of stuff. I don't think it was the time and the place when it came down to Ludacris busting the raps, right? Because there's just not the time and the place. It's not the right time and place for you to bust out your rap when you've got this comedian bashing you down right now and you need a comeback, right? So it's just one of those things that it does happen. And I hope a lot of comedians, honestly, what I think of this is I really do hope that comedians are taking a listen. I hope that they're taking a listen to what Cat Williams has to say. I don't think is going to be where he's going to be blackballed in the world of comedy. I don't think that, because now, and maybe Cat Williams unintentionally did this, or maybe he did. I don't know. But let me break this down to y'all as a businessman. Now, if you guys know, I'm in my MBA. I'm getting a master's in project management. So I know a little bit about how business works, right? Think about this from a business standpoint. Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay, 10 million, right? Now, Netflix might say, hey, he just made himself viral. He made the month of January for 2024. He started the year off blames cannons, ready to explode. Cannons are out there to the world. Cat Williams have done it on this Club Shay Shay interview with Shannon Sharp, right? Now, Cat Williams might have set himself up for maybe another Netflix special. Maybe Hollywood might say, hey, how much will it take for you to guest star in this thing that we got going on? Whatever it is, show or movie, how about you come on? Because you went viral. Hollywood wants to work on behalf of it going viral. If things have gone viral, things have gone viral. Right? And they're going to make the most of it. Right? So I think Cat Williams might have set himself up set for the year where now he might either get another special, he might go back on tour and a company can sponsor it maybe, or he might be a co-star in a movie. I would. I definitely would. If I was a big major studio, and we will one day, saw this interview and saw what Cat had to say, hey, how much you want? How much you want for you to come and do a stand-up special for us? Because you just went viral. Right? So I'm looking at it, you got to look at it, and I say to a lot of people, you got to look at it from a business perspective. I don't think, and it's there, by the way. You know, I've seen it on Facebook and TikTok to where they did a comparison side by side between Cat Williams and Cedric the Entertainer. Shout out to Cedric too, because you know my mom went to go see them because they were down the street at State Farm. So a couple of days ago, so my mom went to go see them. So it's very, very interesting when it came down to this two dynamic, because I saw it on TikTok, I saw it on Facebook as well, to where they did a comparison side by side of Cedric. Supposedly, it's there on video, but supposedly mimic and copied the same punchline, same joke as Cat Williams, right? And that's the allegation, and I want to say allegation because we you know, after that, you know, Cedric was stumbling on Instagram, right? We saw it. Cat Williams came straight for Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley did on his morning show. He was stumbling just a little bit, right? Because comedians are getting mad, right? I've seen some stuff with Kevin Hart. Obviously, we've seen the rap piece that Ludacris did. So it's very, very interesting to see comedians beefing. I just, and to quote the great Joe Budden, right? Because I listen to him religiously, but he makes sense when he says, because he said he loves that comedians are beefing. I like it when beefs happen too, because when beefs happen, this creates competition, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to see a comedian face off, whether it's specials or stand-up comedy or even a tiny desk, whatever. Comedians now get to say, okay, Cat Williams talked that shit about me. Now I got to show him. Right? Now I got to show up and show out. That's what I want to see. Because I thoroughly enjoy comedy specials. I really do. I enjoy them very, very much. But let's be honest, some of the comedy specials have been kind of lackluster. It's either been lackluster or it's been too political. I'm talking to you, Dave Chappelle. It got too political, right? And I'm not dabbling. That's not comedy to me, right? When you make jokes about politics and stuff, that we get it. We don't want that. We want to laugh. We don't want to be depressed. So it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. I think a lot of people should have it to where I like it because it's competition. There's a lot of people forming their own little specials, and Cat Williams had a lot to say. Now I hope that this opens up that competition. I really do. I hope that it opens up a lot of doors when it comes down to wanting to show up and show out. You know, Cat Williams came for all y'all comedians' heads. Now it's y'all's time to see, okay, Cat Williams again talked that shit about us. Now we got to show him. Right? That's only seem fair. Now, if you got it to where comedians are just going on Instagram because that's the next best thing for them is, hey, let me just hop on Instagram real quick and we ain't got nothing else after that, then you're kind of proving Cat Williams's point. Right? I'm not upset that some comedians, I'm not going to name who, right? Because I ain't trying to get in trouble, but some comedians probably sold their souls to Hollywood. And I get it. Hollywood speaks. Money talks. It does. So I kind of get it. I mean, I'm trying to go Hollywood too. So I understand the point where people have to go Hollywood to survive. But Cat Williams is not wrong for what he said on Club Shay Shay. Right? Because to me, I haven't seen funny comedy specials lately. Unless I missed one. You guys comment below. But I haven't seen any. Right? So it's just one of those things that it does happen. And speaking of celebrity news real quick, we did see the what is it? The Golden Globes. Yes, Golden Globes were last night. Last night, by the time you're hearing the podcast version of this. Very, very excited for sure because we've had a lot of great winnings. Of course, Robert Downey Jr. wins for Best Supporting Actor. Of course, Christopher Nolan wins for Best Director. I want to say that Last of Us won. Storm Reed and Nick Offerman won their Golden Globes from the show The Last of Us. Now it makes me want to go watch the show again, even though I've seen season 1. I might go see that season 1 again. I've been watching a lot of reruns from anime. Right, I've been watching a lot of anime, by the way. Capellion is one of my favorites. Right, Capellion. Look, it's on Hulu. If you guys know what I'm talking about, go watch it. It's such a good show. It's very sci-fi, survivor. These are the last moments on Earth type of anime, and it's really, really good. I really like it because I watched that show when I was at my lowest low, my darkest time, and this was 2015 when I started to watch Capellion. Watch the season. They need more seasons. I liked it. It's available on Hulu. I've been watching High School of the Dead, by the way. It's a good one. It's a survivor, horror, zombie type anime. But now it makes me want to, after seeing the winnings of the Golden Globes, I probably gonna watch Last of Us again, right? You've got and I forgot the guy's name already, but the guy that plays Tom in Succession won, and not Kendall Roy, but the little brother. He won for Best Actor in Succession as well. So a lot of great ones. A lot of great ones have won from the shows as well. So, you know, it was a very tight-knit type of show. But all who showed out, they showed out. So shout out to everybody at the Golden Globes and actors and actresses and the Golden Globes. I really do. I really dabbled into this. And I mentioned earlier that I've been watching a lot of and I know I'm weird. I'm so weird with it, y'all. But Facebook watch videos have been, I don't know, they've been very interesting, right? I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just funny with it. But last night I was in bed because I had just finished my homework. Let me tell you, master's degree. Oh God, master's degree. I can't wait to graduate because I got the same professor that I had 3 times already, right? Because they cycle through, right? It's an MBA program. They only have a handful of professors and who can teach the program. So I'm using for the third time the same professor I had for previous classes. So you know I know how his grading goes. So after my homework and after just chilling and eating some dinner. And this was last night, and I'm probably going to do this tonight as well when I get back home. Because, you know, I had some really nice salmon, by the way. Oh, salmon is so good. But anyway, Facebook videos have been very interesting. They've been very entertaining for me. Don't know what it is. It's just been very entertaining. So I watched a lot of Facebook Watch videos lately, and I've been watching this same kind of pattern of videos of people shoplifting in Walmart. And I just want to ask, and this is an open-ended question to a lot of people out there. Why do people shoplift? And I know the answer to that, by the way. I'm just asking the general public, why do we think people shoplift and they think it's okay? Right? I've been seeing it to where people stealing some. I watched this lady was shoplifting. She stole a purse and a pair of panties. And I say, honey, them pair of panties cost like $3 at Walmart. You gonna be fine. Now the purse that you snagged, it may not be no Gucci or Louis at Walmart, but that purse looked kind of nice, right? I've seen that happen. I've seen a brother who went in there to Best Buy, in the same resemblance, Best Buy, and stole 4 PS4 controllers. And it's PS4, right? So I just don't understand the role of people shoplifting, and you're really, because you really think, is it really worth it? Now, I'm glad to say here on the stream that I've never steal. Nah, that's a lie. I've stole before. I tried to shout out to myself because I tried to lie. But I never shoplift. Right? I've never lifted before. I don't plan on shoplifting because for me, I have too much to lose. Right? I have my integrity, I have my dignity first, my pride. And when you have petty theft, you do go to jail. And then in my line of work, in my career, I cannot afford to go to jail. Because and knock on wood, I'm a good boy, I'm going to keep it a good boy. Because I'm scared of jail, I'm scared of prison. But if that ever happens, I will be let go. That's just how it is. And in the educational business, you will be let go if you are indicted for any of that stuff, right? So I don't plan on messing up my future. But people go out there and they steal and they shoplift. And then after they've been caught, they act like they ain't did nothing wrong. Right? I never understand it. If you blatantly steal and you caught on camera that you stealing, then we can't help you. Now, I do agree to a lot of people out there, the videos that I've seen, I think a lot of police officers should not be so aggressive, but that's just the world we're living in right now. Some cops are very aggressive, right? That's been going on for years. But when it's petty theft, they're not going to harm you. Now, it's wrong. I do encourage everybody on here on this live stream and the podcast, don't steal, because it's not worth it. Right? It's not worth it. And it'd be the dumbest things that people steal. Like, you can't get away with trying to steal a TV from Walmart because this just is a big thing. It's in a big box, right? You might buy a big box that just looks big. Well, on the inside, it's not as big as you thought, right? Because I've had that before, not with my current TV I bought months ago. But, I bought a box, 32-inch, thought it was huge, but it's pretty decent size for me. But it wasn't as big as I thought, right? So it's not worth going to the trouble. It's not worth going through the heartache of stealing this item and then getting caught, right? And then once you're caught, your dignity is gone. It's out the window. So I just never understand the rule of shoplifters. They're very entertaining, by the way. Facebook watch videos, and this is not a sponsor to Facebook, but shout out Facebook. A lot of y'all youngins may not know what Facebook is. A lot of people don't use Facebook. It's a lot of, and I like to say us old heads, but I'm only 27. I'm not old at all. But look, Facebook is still a thing. People still doing it, right? Right. So shout out Facebook. Y'all watch those videos because those videos are very, very funny. So as we close out our show here today, our live stream, we have one more question that somebody posted in our forum. Again, guys, you guys can post in our forum at our website at www.lucasnano4.wix.com/KLPE. And you can also put a forum in the comment box on our Vox Times, our magazine, or our article that is website. And check out the Vox Times, by the way, because we write about some stuff, some really good, interesting topics. And my latest article that I wrote on our blog site was we did a full review of The Color Purple. Very, very awesome movie, by the way. Go see it in theaters right now. Not a sponsor, but shout out Color Purple. Because I wrote our latest article over there about the color purple. So it's really, really good. Now, final question of today. An app mysteriously appears on your phone that does something amazing. What does it do? And I thought about this a long, long time. Because there's a lot of crazy apps out there. There are. For me, I think that if an app were to mysteriously appear and what it does, and I'm not far-fetched from this because it's kind of, I get AI is a thing, right? I think AI is the coolest thing ever. It scares me though. It really does scare me. AI freaks me out because AI can do a lot, right? But I like it because it can do a lot, right? K.L.P Entertainment, we dabble heavily in AI. When it comes down to AI helping us edit our photos, I've used AI to help edit our videos before. But the mysterious app that I would say more on the video editing side to where you submit your clips, and I don't know, this may exist out there already. I don't know. Your clips goes to this app and it cuts up your whole video itself. Maybe using AI, maybe using magic. I don't know. Right? So that way you don't have to burden the headache of editing a video. You just submit your clips. Boom, it's taken care of. That's it. You ain't got to worry about it. And then you get the product at the end result. Maybe it exists already. It sounds like it does. But that's what the mysterious app would do for me. Because if you guys don't know, we cut up a lot of videos a day. We do. Whether it's sports talk, Spectrum podcast. And that one's easy to cut up though. This show, right? When we done with the live stream, I'm recording locally. I got to cut this up. Right? So it takes a lot of time to cut up video and to make sure that it's right. And of course, I've had clients, which I'm kind of glad that I'm stopping my clientele 2024. I just can't. I'm focused on this project, this New York project, and then I've got another movie planned for the summertime, and that's it. Like I ain't taking on no more clients this year. But unless you're a private client, by the way. But just imagine if this app to where you submit it in, and it does it for you, right? So it's just one of those things that I that's what I've been thinking about, and I think it exists. It might exist out there maybe one of these days because it sounds like it's good, too good to be true. It sounds like something that would be out there, right? So it's just one of those things that's the mysterious app that chimes in when it comes down to it as well. And that's the mysterious app that does amazing things. Hey, cut up my video for me. I'll pay you. So I ain't got to cut. All I got to do is upload, So it's crazy. I know it sounds weird, but that's just the one that I want to dabble on into. So that's going to wrap it up here in our show as well. But before we get to that, we got to play some music. Good girl, but we still good. Thank y'all for tuning in for the live stream. We did a good hour too, by the way. Shout out to Usher and Summer Walker in 21. We ain't good, but we still good. That's how R&B singers be singing. They be like, Mama. They do that thing with their face, caressing the mic and whatnot. So, good.
Who knew it'd be like this? Usually my exes turn enemies.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in for the live stream. I love y'all. I really do. For all of you guys, if you're watching the on-demand version later, thank you so much. This is a show that really is doing really well, by the way. And I love y'all for that. I really do. Stay tuned this week. Spectrum Podcast, Sports Talk, K.L.P Aftermath with me and Rocco. We coming back this week. Hey, watch our other episodes.
You always been a real one, even though we ain't
together.
Real love, and baby it's still love. I hate that we make it to forever.
Hey,
Probably ain't getting back together. But that don't mean that I can't wish you better.
Press the wrong button. Hey. Y'all follow all of our social medias, by the way. My personal, Kennedy Lucas K.L.P. The Heat 94. That's the Heat Radio #1. Come on, Summer. Woo. Now, Summer Walker. Yep. Yep. Hey. Shout out to all the people here in Atlanta. Hopefully y'all have a great week. We got a long week, but it's going to be a great one. We got MLK next Monday. Can't wait for that. Hey, hey. One time. He did. Greatness is yet to come, y'all. Hey. Hey. Come on now. Come on. Together. Yeah, I want to thank y'all so much again for staying tuned, rocking out with me. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much.
It didn't work out, but that don't mean you should attack me. We enjoyed the 5-star meals, but you was with me for the Zaxby. Holding me down from the start.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studio. With your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.